Hello folks, today I'm going to be reviewing the 1 to 700 scale RMS Titanic by Revell. This is my first ever model kit. I was going to leave this review for a little bit longer until, I started to get a bit more traction with this YouTube thing, but I thought I might as well just review this kit now because not only is there a story behind it, there's a little bit of sentimental value with this kit. So we have a lot to talk about today. This kit was built in, well, let me tell you where I got it first. Now here's the box. Let me show you the box first. I bought this in stores. My only kit I've ever bought in a store, in shop. Every other kit I built since this kit, I've ordered online. Although that is going to soon change, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But this is the only kit I've ever bought in store. I bought this kit in the summer of 2017, which almost feels like an eternity ago. I picked this kit up, just the kit. I didn't buy any paints or anything. And I just thought, because ever since I was a kid, I always wanted a model of the Titanic, but I could just never build one. I was too scared, really, because these kits just scared me. The glue, the blades, sharp objects, it just scared me. So it took me a while to sum up the courage to actually buy a model of the Titanic. When I did buy the model, it sat in storage for a year and a half until early 2019, when I decided to take it out and make a start on it. Upon taking it out, I realized I didn't have any paints for it, so I had to go get some, and I had to go back to the original model store and go and buy the paint pots. I got all enamel, and I painted the full kit in enamel paint, which we'll get to that in a second, because there's a bit of a story behind that as well. And I built it over the course of several months. I think it took me 9 months to build this kit, which is astounding looking back at now, and it really just shows how far, personally, not tooting my own horn, but just shows me how far I've come in this hobby in just a few years. I'm keeping this box mainly for sentimental value. I always throw my boxes out, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's been sitting on my desk. It's been sitting on a window for so long that it's actually been sun bleached here. Let me see if I can open this actually. Because I don't know if you can hear that, but well, actually, let me show you. These are some of the other stuff you can get in the range. Heck, I might even buy some. I'm currently going to build a Bismarck. I've already reviewed the Airfix Vintage Classic one. I'm not sure how well that one is, but it looks pretty cool. I still have the sprue, and I have the instruction manual, which is in black and white. And you can see how it's kind of yellowed there as well. And you can see there the exact day, the very day I finished the kit, October 31st, 2019. So, yeah, I started early 2019, finished in October 2019. I can't get this out. This kit has a lot of stories connected to it, a lot of memories. I usually do that. Now, fun little fact, this is a tradition that I have when I build ships. I don't know who else does this, and this might seem a bit weird to some of you. I don't know. This is just a thing that I do. Before I seal up the kit, because the boat or the kit comes in two halves, before I seal it up, I write a little message. It's basically, the kit itself is a time capsule, and there's a hidden message inside this kit. I don't even know what it is. I can't remember. And it's supposed to be a very deep message. Sort of like a future. It's a message to my future self. I did it with my Queen Mary kit. I've done it with most of them. Not my planes, but just bigger kits. There's something inside the hull of this Titanic that whatever it may be, I don't know, but it's going to be a sort of manifestation for my future self. Anyway, now with that out of the way, let's talk about the kit. The kit is absolutely atrocious, especially looking back at it now, but it is a subject of its time. It's a fantastic kit, one I would definitely not recommend beginners. So I painted it with full enamel. Now, sorry, I'm sitting on my floor here. One thing to note is that with enamel paint, it takes about roughly 24 hours for the paint to fully cure, and I'm using Revell enamels. But this is what I did. I painted one layer, and the moment I touched it and it felt kind of dry, even if it was a little bit sticky, I would paint over it again. So I never waited for the layers of paint to fully dry. And because of that, the paint has chipped off. You can still, if you rub it, you can actually still smell the paint. The paint, like, it still smells fresh, even after years later. It still smells like wet paint. A lot of the brass has turned green. I don't even know how that happens, but there's the glue placement is extremely messy and disgusting. This kit is badly damaged as well. You see how it's broken? Both propellers are gone. There's pieces that these funnels have broken off more times. You can actually see here how the deck wasn't installed properly. So this just dangled off. Actually, the entire deck, if I just look here, I don't know if you can tell, but you see how the boat deck is like standing off of the lower promenade? Okay, well there's a story behind that. When you install this kit, there's like a bulkhead that you have to install. I skipped that step for some reason. But that bulkhead is supposed to reinforce the top of the ship, so that when these two pieces came together, the ship was a lot skinnier than it was supposed to be, and you can actually see how the upper deck doesn't even fit onto the... This, like, deck here is supposed to fit in, but it doesn't, because the two... I'm not going to call it a fuselage, but it's like installing a fuselage on an aircraft kit. The two shells of the boat are too far squeezed together because that bulkhead isn't reinforcing them. The bulkhead, like, presses them apart so you can put the decks in. The decks are sandwiched into the ship. That's not the case on my kit, so what I had to do is I had to basically just take all four layers, the 3 layers of the decks, glue them together, and then just press them down, but brute force them in. And because of that, they've all buckled, and you can see them all trying to come out. Nothing is level. I just find that so funny. This kit originally had masts. As you can see, they're all gone. Actually, almost everything on the deck. You do have some ventilators still there, but all of that is gone. This kit also comes with a stand. That's also snapped off. This was the first kit where I also tried to add decals, but I added the decals onto the bottom stand. But I didn't know how decals... I'm trying not to laugh, but it's so funny just to think of this. I didn't know decals needed water, so I just cut them off the sprue, and then I used poly cement to stick the decals onto the stand. And so the decals just dissolved and corroded and melted the stand with it. And I actually still have the stand in there somewhere. And it's all just like messy. It was a disaster. It really was. It's a funny kit to look back at. It really is. You can see how the auxiliary deck here is also broken off as well. All the masts are gone. I'm actually surprised the rudder is still intact, because that's about to fall off. The fit issues, you can see how there's gaps there as well. A lot of the paint is chipping off. Actually, let me show you how bad the paint chipping is. I don't mind this, but just watch. See that? See? Like, oh my goodness. It's so bad. And this is enamel paint, mind you. It's very hard to tell, but do you see how the yellow paint has, well, it's chipped off as well, and the plastic underneath is, I say yellow, but like, it's supposed to be white paint, but it's turned yellow. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, the reason why that's yellow is because after a few layers, I did some research and I realized you have to actually thin your enamel paint. So I got thinners out our garage. It is the most bottom line, most crappiest thinners I have ever used. It was just like your generic branded thinners. I don't even know what it was, but it already had paint. It already had paint mixed in it. So that's literally that's literally yellow paint mixed with the white. So the top of the boat is like cream, and then this is black, and this is the wrong shade of red because I couldn't get it in the store. Oh my goodness. Insanity really is, especially looking back. But you know what? It is a subject of its time, and I will look, as years go on, I will look more and more fondly at this kit. This might be a bit of a crazy review, but you know what? It's an interesting little story. As bad as this kit is, it holds a special place. You know, all joking aside, I was going through a hard time in school. I'm not going to get into exactly what I was going through, but this kit means a lot to me because it made me realize that it really changed me. Because now I actually have a hobby. Before this, all I did was just play video games. But after building this kit, it started me on a self-improvement journey. Because after finishing this kit, the happiness I felt, I can't describe it. And the construction of this kit, honestly, it changed my life. It really did. It started me on this self-improvement journey. Now I'm still self-improving. I still haven't finished. I'm still trying to recover from the issues I had in the time of me building this kit. I'm still struggling with them. Anxiety, you know, just general sadness, issues with self-worth and self-esteem. And this kit really helped me out of a dark place. It really did. There's something quite great about this hobby. Sorry, I shook the camera, but there really is something quite great about this hobby. And all hobbies. You know, this kit, there's so many stories and memories connected to this kit. It's a reminder of where I was and where I'm going. And it's the sort of missing link between what I would consider a dead chapter in my life and a very long chapter that lasted a long time and I'm still recovering from. But this kit will forever be treasured in my collection and will always be my favorite model kit I've ever built. Period. Hopefully you guys liked this sort of interesting video. I don't know what you would call it, but yeah. I'm glad that you guys can sort of be on this journey with me of not only self-improvement and not only just reviews on YouTube, but just subscribing to the channel. You know, I'm at 25 subscribers last time I checked, and I'm just looking at myself now and looking at where I was in the past and realizing that there's still so much more to look forward to in life and this great journey that we call existence. Hopefully you guys like this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.